process begins. Magnus Carlsen plays d4, and we're off to see the wizard.
Well, we're off to see a Grunfeld, Danny, and no surprises there because Maxime Vachier Lagrave, one of the leading experts in the Grunfeld, and well, this is it, so we don't even need to explain it. We can watch with our own eyes.
Yeah, the Grunfeld, again, for those of you who don't follow NBL's chess career, you think of two openings when you think of a Frenchman with 3 names, the Grunfeld against d4 and the Najdorf against e4. Obviously, being a super champ, Robert, he plays other things, but those are his mainstays, and I like that he doesn't make any calls about it, right? He's not a guy who varies his systems very often, no matter who he's playing, right?
And he needs no excuses. He knows his opening weapons inside and out, and he keeps his friends them. And look at this, though. Queen a4 check has made Maxime pause, and almost he's frozen. He is just deep in thought, trying to figure out how to respond. And there are several options here. I believe that you can just play bishop d7. There must be something iffy about it, probably closing the queen's access off the d file, and that's why he played knight to c6.
Yeah, there's a move order there in the analysis board that I'm familiar with. It's a small, it's almost like comparable to a Queen's Indian, when sometimes black plays bishop b4 to induce bishop d2 and then goes back. In this case, after queen a4 and bishop d7. A lot of times I believe white will just play queen to b3. The exchange is kind of forced of the knight, and the queen is not really any worse for the journey, right? She's got a new target. You know the white's going to get a big center, so it's kind of a little bit of a tricky move order. And now the queen retreats to c2 at the risk of the d4 pawn hanging. Now I'm a little bit less familiar with the theory. I guess it takes, shake and bake. There's going to be ideas with knight to b5 in some positions.
Absolutely, because the queen on d4, the pawn on c7, like you're saying, no attack there. So it's a pawn sacrifice that Maxime does not accept. But it could be one of these positions now where white plays d5, and Max says, maybe I should have taken that pawn because you're threatening me and restricting my pieces with d5.
Yeah, when he gets the big center, but as you know about the run build, remember when you get the big center, and then the idea is black is going to spend the rest of his time trying to underwrite it, make exchanges, and hopefully if black gets his way have good hanging exchanges. Pressure on the queen side, sometimes you know 3 on 2, even a 2 on 1 over here. Really curious to see where this goes because, as you said, Robert, Maxime being the Grunfeld expert, but given the amount of time he's taking, you're now down by a minute and a half on the clock. Magnus came prepared, and Maxime did not, apparently, for the line we're seeing on the board.
And this knight on b4, while it temporarily is an aggressive piece, it's going to be moving, kick back around this board. So, unfortunately for Maxime, he's burning clock and has some difficult choices ahead. Some ideas that come to mind for white are, well, I can kick the knight immediately with pawn to a3, but I can also put my dark square bishop, develop that. The light square bishop probably going to end up on e2 and white castle king side. So I like white's position right now, but we should note, Danny, with a pawn on d5, black can play c6 or b6 in the near future to chisel at white's advanced center.
No, that was the idea I was highlighting in exactly what was doing. Let's not forget, if he kicks the knight, there's the potential that there's a future on c5 is going to be able to play knight a6 right away, and I think he does. So, despite the time taken, which suggests to us some practical advantages for Magnus, I still don't feel like Maxime's position is bad at all, right? I mean, we know it's very close to level, and this is kind of a typical Grunfeld. When white advances the white pawn to the center, we know this is coming. So, really true. The main thing up here is to see, this is early in the match, Robert, is will we get a Grunfeld theoretical lesson today, right? We know I've been making my Italian notes. I'll have to make my Grunfeld notes.
Yeah, we had some e4 lessons, as you're saying now, we'll get some d4 lessons. And it's worth it for everybody, so do take notes if you are tuning in and trying to improve on your chess game. But Danny, I'm kind of coming to agree with you here, that I thought at first that white's position shouldn't be good. Maybe it's a bit of a Magnus effect. He's playing with the white pieces, and Magnus we can generally trust. But here, knight c5 for one, and there are a variety of ideas that are played in the future f5 type of move to really hammer at white's center. I feel like that center could collapse if you're not careful.
No, I mean, it's a common affliction that chess commentators suffer. It's called Magnusitis. There is a round of vaccines coming around, and we hope that early adopters jump into it, same, and help all of humanity. But yeah, no, jokes aside, we've got Magnus fever usually when he plays, so you assume it's a good line, but I do think NBL has got off to an easy start. The computer did not like the move a4 from the Frenchman, though, for the record. we're still in kind of a typical run. Now, one of the dynamics here, Robert, though, is that the longer black doesn't get E6 or C6, kind of the harder it becomes, right? So we don't really want to let white build on that center and keep it. What's Emil going to do now that Magnus is fully coordinating and supporting these pawns in the center?
With the last few moves, you understand that he's trying to take this knight on F3 and use the D4 square to his benefit. He has the bishop on G7, now the knight on B3, ready to just jump right to that square. So I wouldn't be surprised if Magnus retreats his bishop from G5, where it's pressing to E3, where it's a bit more defensive, stopping any shenanigans on that D4 square. But I don't think that Magnus wants to make that kind of retreat. He'd rather continue with the plan A for bishop to put his piece on perfect squares, cast the king side would be the ideal movement. But again, bishop takes F3, and then
I kind of like your idea of bishop. Remember, one of the big moves is bishop left bishop is to stop E6. It's going to be really fun in the black side there. Now that it's served that purpose, we don't need one exactly defense E6. So I think you should trust in yourself. Trust your instincts, partner. I've been telling you that for years. Bishop was the best. Bishop served its purpose. Now that we're on D1, it's preventing E6 and C6. The point everybody is to scout attacks. Well, I think bishop E3 is just what the doctor ordered, and you found it before Magnus did. Love that about you.
I mean, you know, I have both the benefit of the evaluation bar off to the side, and I see what Black's idea is. He's talking about it. And Danny, this is White's position. If you give White a couple of moves, Black's counter chances are not as great. You know, the typical idea, as mentioned earlier, is it starts with queen D7. Now you can H3 square,
Safe should always be to the center, because the center does what we need it. But if you're looking to learn from this how they play position, seems like it breaks principles. If you get the center, double pawns, but actually forget the principles. White has a very good position, very solid. Play H5, and I think Maxime can. I do like your idea of F5 and maybe
gives Black the D4 square. So, probably doing that. White right now is the D file. What Black really needs, especially when you're getting attacked, is sometimes you think, oh, I need to stop an attack when you should be defensive. Sometimes the best defense is in your offense. And that's why you play D5 is to take the D4 square. And Magnus said, I'm not capturing, I'm not going to play D5. But instead, my knight to F5, which is an effect to be C7.
Best defense good opposition. Shout out to Junior for he's watching. You know, down to that small ball from Philly. All right, H5 play. Our NBA lovers. You can chat. By the way, you can chat. We've got 14,000 people joining. 11,000 already on YouTube. This show just ahead of everybody. I'd say something. Alright, here we go, F5. Danny, you're the greatest showman since Jack. Here's the last one. Alright, we've got takes G6 to exit now. The idea that the king side is open enough. The question is the backwire where we yell, right? Bishop H6 is something. White does go for a G6, king of also thinking about the G1. This is going to get nuts. Hero loves White's position here, but I don't see a clear path, right? We're going to see if Magnus can show us the path.
I also want to flag is that Bishop C4 is